Yes, today, we are gonna be smoking on that comment section pack. Now, it this is gonna be something kind of different because the video is titled "This Game Died Because of Scrubs," because the FGC is majority scrubs. I didn't say that was a bad thing. I'm stating facts. And so it's interesting to see what some people's comments are. So we're gonna dive right into that. But just know, if you aren't subscribed, just might as well, bro. Hit the button. I'm just saying. Hit the button. Do it for me, or at least do it for DNF Duel. It's not like I can save the game, but I really do like the game. So let's get right into it. And turn this down just a little bit. But nothing too super serious here. Just reading some comments, really get some discussion going. Should I zoom in? Nah, it's good. So I'm gonna read this first one. Flash Legs. Flash Legs says, after 27 hours of playing, I just stopped. Okay. Instead, I put in 60 hours more into Tekken 7, and that game was sitting at 33 hours played in my Steam library. Okay. Now, I guess DNF Duel was fun in the beginning because everyone was new at the game and having some very basic fundamentals. I could get my wins and good matches with other players, which is typically the honeymoon phase of fighting games. If you don't know what the honeymoon phase is you have an influx. Like I said this in my Discord with my other friends, right? The first day and the first day is probably the most fun day you will have with the game, and then and depending on the type of player you are, the next 3 days can also be just as fun, if not more fun, because you're in that discovery period, which is the honeymoon phase. So you can get in ranked, you don't feel super bad about losing, you can still mess around, you can still get wins, like this guy said. Now he says, I'm a casual and I practice combos and such, but this game feels really punishing when you don't know what the other character is doing, and I like learning in ranked in the heat of battle. So I don't understand this. I'm a casual and I practice combos. I practice combos too and such, but this game feels really punishing when you don't know what the other character is doing. I agree, and I like learning in a ranked defeated battle. I agree to that too. So this guy is basically describing how I approach DNF Duel. I want to preface this. I watched one Twitter clip on like Tekken, and it was GC Yoshi's Evo run. He basically, every time Dragon Knight's dragon came out, he poked the dragon. That's like the only tech I've really learned from watching anyone else. And of course, like TODs and stuff with Troubleshooter, because that's who I played originally. But in my opinion, DNF Duel didn't feel that bad to learn what people were doing wrong or why you were losing in ranked. But I'll continue. Getting locked down in long ass combos and still getting slammed, even though I thought I used the defense mechanic roll at the right time, is frustrating. Like for a casual, you spend a long time guarding or getting hit by a combo. So I want to freeze frame. Roll is a noob trap in this game. I picked that up really early on. So why didn't you just stop using roll? Roll is not a good defensive mechanic. I don't understand. And there's still people right now who mash roll. I don't understand the logic behind it. But my thing is, if you're using a quote-unquote defense mechanic and it doesn't work, why do you keep using it? Why don't you just stop using it? You know what I'm saying? No hate though. This guy just says he's a casual, so okay, keep going. Now, Tekken 7 is supposed to be a hard-ass game. I can't speak on Tekken 7. I don't know. But the defensive options it gives you are easier to utilize, on top of it being popular enough for casuals to still play it. I actually don't know where I'm going with this, but this is my experience as a casual. I think DNF is pretty good, but I don't feel compelled to start playing it again anytime soon. And the longer I wait, the more I feel the gap in skill increase in the game I'm already not that invested in. Okay. So few things to unpack here. My boy Flashlegs goes on to say he's a casual, but and he'll say he'll lab long combos. I practice combos and such, but he doesn't go on to say that he practices the things that he finds distrating, defeating, or like was beating him in ranked. So he'll practice the offensive aspect of the game, but he won't practice the other aspect of the game. And this is kind of interesting because even if you continue to practice offense, eventually your offense does become good enough that you kind of more or less don't need defense. And at least in this game, I feel like, since you really don't really have to do much, just guard cancel when someone does a special. I don't really understand that much, but I see what he's saying. My thing is, you know, like I said, I've never played Tekken. I don't know, so I don't know what 33 hours of Tekken looks like, but I do know what 27-ish hours of DNF Duel feels like. That is basically where you hit that stride. You understand what you're doing. You kind of understand where you're losing. But it's really up to you to improve. Because in my opinion, in DNF Duel, you only lose really two ways. One, you let your opponent reach their win condition before yours. Or two, you don't capitalize on your hits. That's really all that game is about, right? Because each character has very defined strengths and weaknesses, matchup, like what you should be doing. Like for troubleshooter, if you're playing against Konoichi and or launcher or something, or someone far away, you want to throw your net so you can make it go off. So it kind of gives you some leeway on the huge screen. Despite you having forward special that's basically full screen, throwing net just alleviates a lot of the pressure, and you can actually do some setups with that. But that's something like you don't lab that. I mean, you kind of really don't learn that in the heat of battle unless you're experimenting. That's something you kind of just have to mess around with, right? But it's still an interesting comment. I think this is an interesting perspective, and I'm sure a lot of people align with this. But let's keep going. This is my quote I got from a website, and this is what it is. A scrub is not just a bad player. Everyone needs time to learn a game and get to a point where they know what they're doing. The scrub mentality is to be so shackled by self-imposed handicaps as to never have any hope of being truly good at the game. You can practice forever, but if you can't get over these common hangups, in a sense, you've lost before you've even started. You've lost before you even picked which game to play. You aren't playing to win. So it's interesting to see that first comment, which again, I'm very positive a lot of people resonate with, that, oh, I'm a casual, you know, I only practice so much. But I feel like I said it at the end, you know, DNF is a pretty good game, but he doesn't feel compelled to play it anytime soon. Yet the longer he waits, the more he feels the gap in skill will increase. You see the irony there? Which again, I've actually feel my bro on this, because I felt like this about stuff too, but we'll get into that towards the end of the video. Next comment. I will say, from Zol Psycho, I will say that the FGC is very bad at articulating what they want and what they like, don't like. No doubt about that. Shout outs to bro, he real understanding real, bro. Shout outs to him. Believe it or not, a majority of sales from these fighting games are coming from people who aren't competitive, or scrubs, as some people will call it. A majority of gamers don't care about competitive aspects of these fighting games. DNF had bad marketing and lacked content for casual players. That I agree. You know, I won't say bad marketing, but lacked content for casual players 100%. Yeah, like 100%. Yes, the story is not exactly interesting. It's like a sideshow. Art is cool, interactions are whatever, but it's basically like click the button, be the character, click the button, be the character, 30 minutes, and then you unlock Lost Warrior. So a company is going to need more than online net play and versus mode to sell a game that's $50. It's even more expensive in other countries. Well, the thing here is people have the game. People 100% have the game. They just aren't playing the game. That's the difference. People have the game. People just aren't playing the game. And you can't really, it's not anyone you can really point a finger at, like, why aren't you playing the game? You have the game. Something I did kind of undermine in this video is some people legitimately probably won't find the game fun. I can understand that if you don't like getting hit by big buttons full screen because you just want to run at people and it feels cheap, that you have to kind of slow yourself down. I can see why you wouldn't like that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's very fair. Like when people with Borderlands is an okay game overall, right? Who hasn't at least tried Borderlands if you've played games at all? But I can see why Borderlands isn't for everyone. It's not exactly hard. It's not exactly a new formula. It's not exactly innovative at this moment. For a time when it came out, yes, it was. And some people swear by Borderlands, some don't. And it's not really anyone's fault if they don't swear by Borderlands. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta respect that. Sometimes casual players, how they feel do matter. And just for thinking different doesn't really make them a scrub. But scrub mentality still took a big play on this game. My boy Impy, you touch on some good points. I think a big issue is the huge skill gap in playing this game as a casual who wants to hop on and press buttons, and someone who understands a very basic thing like pre-jump killing you. I don't know what pre-jump is. Like jumping too early or holding up back or something. It takes the fun away for some people to feel like they need to study before they can derive enjoyment from it, and I don't blame anyone for that. That's very true. I think one thing this game didn't do right is the fact that it is super easy, but it's super easy and you get a lot for a little. I feel like players don't really like that, because when you think about it, bro. When you look at a Marvel combo or a Dragon Ball Z combo, even though it's not really that hard, it looks difficult. You can see a lot of buttons are being pressed, and you can see that not everyone is going to do that to you all the time. So in your brain, you're kind of like, okay, this is a lot of hits. It's kind of my fault for getting hit. Yada yada. You feel less bad. But in DNF Duel, any hit you basically end up losing 40%, or if it's the wrong hit you end up losing 70%, or if it's the wrong circumstance you end up really dying. So I get it. I get that. As a casual, you do kind of just want to hop on and be like, yeah, let's have some fun. Nope. No. Crusader said no, you are not having fun. You're not running at me. So yeah, that's fair. I hope DNF doesn't die, man. Don't worry, it's not gonna die. I've been having so much fun with this game. Grappler is my main, and I haven't had fun with a character in so long. The satisfaction of making comebacks is a match. Very true. So what I just said in criticism, the game is simple, super easy, a lot of damage. That also does lead to a lot of comebacks. One thing I don't really like about the game is awakening is tied to low health, and that's the one thing that feels kind of weird about this game. But comebacks do feel satisfying, but I feel like comebacks don't happen because Awakening. I feel like Awakening is like whatever. Like I really feel like Awakening is just whatever. Like, even for the characters I play, like Awakening only really makes a difference in like half the cast. The other half is like okay. So that's a good point. You know, I hope the game doesn't die. Comebacks are cool. That's cool. Let's see. Dude, I was just telling my homeboy this the other day after it just hit me. FGC kind of exposed itself in the last few years. Everyone really garbage at video games, period. And are only in it for the aesthetics when it comes to these products. Not saying I'm any goddamn body. And it's nothing wrong with that, but this game didn't deserve to struggle like it is now, especially after the numbers it was doing not too long ago. Good point, my brother. The FGC is interesting. The FGC, here's the problem. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and then I'm gonna explain on this in another video. The problem with the FGC is there's two huge problems, right? One is obviously esports. Esports has turned the people we kind of look up to into sellouts, and it's sad. So these people aren't really like they just happen to like the game, like they're kind of passionate, but they're low-key sellouts at the end of the day. That's just the truth, bro. And the second problem is the FGC. When you think FGC and you try to interact with it, you have to kind of go towards Twitter. Twitter is one of the worst sites to exist. It's a very terrible site because it promotes bullshit and it intertwines real life bullshit with online bullshit, and it makes imaginary bullshit, and it kind of fuels off of people wanting to be agitated and angered and validated and all this stuff. Fighting game community doesn't care about that stuff. We should care about, you know, talent, nurturing good people, being inclusive, not exclusive, you know, basic human decency type vibes, like some hippie type vibes, bro. Like what it was about back in the day. Play games with your homies. Hey homie, I don't got no friends, you don't got no friends, we like this weird niche thing, let's chill, bro. Most adults can relate to that in some capacity. But now it's not like that. I was the weird kid in school, so now I'm going to be the weird person on Twitter. Now I'm going to derive my personality from my mental illness, and everything's just a joke, bro. Don't take nothing serious. I just like to complain. I just like to try to make people embarrassed. And you have this mentality amongst a lot of people. Like I would say like 90% of the people who partake actively on Twitter have what I just said. They have that mentality to a T. They won't admit it, but I see right through it. So that's the real problem. So FGC is doomed long as it exists on Twitter. It's plain and simple. I can understand that the game can be crazy, but the only true menace with Swiftmaster. Would be cool if we see DLC in the future. So yeah, that's what this game's saving grace is gonna be, in my opinion. It will be DLC. Bars. Like the moment they announce Monk and a girl character, people are gonna be back on the game. I don't know for how long, but people will be back. That's how it goes. And yeah, so no, the Swiftmaster was definitely a problem. I'm glad that he at least will be less popular. Swiftmaster definitely was a problem. He went a little too. He was too strong for a little too long. Is the problem. But it is what it is. Excuse me. I would play more DNF if I found a character to main. That's fair. Nothing sort of sticks at the moment, but don't let that discourage you from trying this game. It can be mad fun. The freedom you get is a ton. Simple inputs are a great addition. The net code works super well. It's on the same level as Strive, to be honest. I have small nitpicks like Swiftmaster. The music is forgettable or just mid. Dude, I love the music in this game. What? I mean, that's okay. Alright, that's cool. Guard break can be a problem in this game. While looks complete, it feels like it isn't in some areas. I think with more updates and maybe a version 2.0, we'll see a revival in DNF. But as of right now, we gotta rely on tournaments, locals, and the community to grow this game. Good video still. Thanks. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, guard break can be a problem, but the thing is, guard break specials only. That's the key. Guard break specials. And guard breaking doesn't really do anything. It kind of resets neutral. So if you are in the corner and you guard break, you kind of are still at a slight disadvantage, because the person's going to run at you with like a big normal or an advancing normal, and because you're in the corner, you either going to jump up and get hit, or you have to crouch for the incoming attack. So yeah, but guard break the special is the point. I agree, you do get a lot of freedom unless you are like striker. With striker is just like dive kick and then run the route, but there is a lot of freedom to be had in some cases, not all. Good comment. I pray there's more to come from this game. DLC or some news. Just ignore the crowd. Yeah, no pain, no gain. If I like it, yep, this guy's right. I agree with that. I would consider myself a casual. I love Striker because she is so freeform. My issue is not the game isn't fun, it's that I don't always want to play online. That's a good point. Online most of the time is spent not pressing buttons, which is cool. You want to think and be challenged and improve. But I have played fighting games since 09. I know how long it takes to get proficient with a character. Most of these characters, except Striker, Enchantress, and Vanguard, have an unchanging game plan. I agree and disagree. I feel like in a vacuum you can say that, but I feel like Troubleshooter and Ghostblade and Ranger play very differently. Similarly in some cases, but still different. I don't know about this one. If anything, I would not put Vanguard in here. Vanguard plays like no one like the cast because he's kind of cheeks sometimes. Not bad, but you know. But good comment overall. Most characters play the exact same, meaning until you get a high level. I don't agree with that. Meaning until you get to high level, if you see a Swiftmaster or Ranger, you can predict how the match will go. If you are good, yeah, but if not, you will lose. I'm not sure what he meant by that, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't think this game is for me personally. I fall into the just want to press buttons crowd. I keep seeing, hearing stuff in this game and frustrate the hell out of me. But it's fun as hell to watch. Yeah, well, this is really important. This is another aspect. Watching, even if you're just the type of person like this guy, you just want to press buttons and you just want to watch casually and you want to participate and watch videos and comment videos, that's cool. That's you're a part of the community. You make up the FGC. You are important as the players are. So I don't want anyone to feel like just because you're in this bucket, you're a scrub or you're bad. Like, no. I am the same way. I love watching Marvel. I like playing games a little bit harder than a casual. I never intend to enter no tournaments or anything. I just like fighting games, bro. Pretty simple. Shout out to this guy or girl, guy, 0B. And yeah, so he said, but it's fun as hell to watch. And yeah, FGC Twitter is pretty trash. Facts. They really don't know what they want. Everyone wants a game to basically play the way they want it to play. Facts. which usually boils down to I want this to play closer exactly to like this one game I already like. Facts, and that's pretty dumb. Facts. Let's go play that game. I feel facts. When I was playing games in the genre more, I played a ton of Strive, but I wasn't looking at other games thinking, why don't these? Yeah, like this guy is spitting. Shout out to this guy. This guy gets it. This guy gets it. So let's keep going. 25 minutes. I'll do like 40 minutes max. It's not too many more. So let's go. Before the patch, this game felt like it was already figured out. Yeah, I would say most characters' general game plans have been figured out, but it's really up to the player to adapt, because not everyone is going to play every character perfectly. It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter who you are. No one is going into a tournament playing the character perfectly or going online playing perfectly. It's really up to you to just iron out the kinks if you want to, right? I prefer games that require execution. Have you played Zerker, my boy? Come on now. Y'all think Zerker is easy? You think y'all think Zerker is easy? Go play Zerker. You think you don't need execution? Go play Zerker, bro. Go run 5-0 someone with Zerker. Nothing wrong with this game, but it just isn't fun to play for me. Same reason why I don't like Street Fighter 5 as much. There's barely any lab work needed. I feel like there's a lot of lab work needed for Street Fighter 5. But I get what this guy is saying, because the game has been out, right? I guess. I don't know what this guy is saying. I get it, kind of. Because Street Fighter 5 has been out for a long time, so everyone has a general gameplay and general Oki and stuff. But just because it's discovered doesn't mean you can't experiment. That is one thing I never understood. Just because you see someone do something else on Twitter doesn't mean you can't improve on it or find your own way to do it. Like, people think because it's on Twitter and it has views and it's like the character is solved or that aspect is solved and it can't be built upon. That's just literally not true. Shoutouts to Kool-Aid. Damn. Yo, that cool, bro. Shoutouts to Kool-Aid, bro. Alright, let's keep going. So, hardcores ruin it for casuals. Casuals ruin it for hardcores. It's all one big melting pot of stinky shit. I sometimes wonder how this genre keeps on going, and what would happen if casuals stopped buying fighting games. That's so interesting. Because you can't have one without the other. I think that's why DBFZ is so good. DBFZ has really blurred the line between hardcore and casual, because anyone can see something that someone is doing and emulate it and get close, but to be proficient at what you do with your characters in DBFZ and your team, to call it your team, requires mastery. Even if it is a super meta team, even if the characters are super easy, there's a certain mastery that comes with it. Good comment. Really good comment. So, next person. I agree with everything, but with Launcher. I think Launcher is just a bad character with good tools that can be knowledge checked if you lab against her. Her 5A is really good, and her nuke and the plus rocket setup are also cool, but they can be easily beating out versus other characters. Knowledge checks. The first setup I found for Launcher was the mid-screen meaty plus rocket, and it's arguably her best setup because it's plus and it cannot be rolled. The problem is you have to get a hit, which is hard because her only good pressure is 5A, 5AA staggers, which is easy to catch a trash player, but high level players are simply waited out just to DP once you try to get back in range. She's a struggle bus character, but like I said, everything else I completely agree with. Nice. So I didn't actually, personally, I don't play Launcher. So if I did say something that felt inaccurate about Launcher, yeah, I didn't actually play her. I watched someone learn her and I wanted to play her, but the frustrations and stuff I saw on screen, I was just like, bro, this is not worth it. Like, people were getting deity with Launcher and like giving themselves like a badge of honor, like they just went to war. So yeah, good, bad character with good tools sounds about right, because it's still absurd how some of her moves function, and then you have some other similar moves that just function outright way better. So good comment overall. I like where this guy's head is at. This game has shown the FGC's true colors. No, it hasn't. FGC is very transparent. Very, very trash. It's very easy to see that. Yes, 100%. I love DNF. People don't lab, and this game exposes them, and that's fine. Very true. So if you look up at the earlier comments, that guy basically, this comment is basically a scissors to that guy's paper. Oh, I'm a casual. I like to lab, but I feel like it's not worth it, bro. You have to. That's how fighting games work. You have to experiment. Like everything, and I'll say this about DNF Duel. Everything has a clear answer and has like a clear like situation leading up to it prior, before you even get to the worst part. Even like 100, like 100, even like the guard break setups. There's sequences that lead up to those setups that can be avoided or bested, because the game feels like you're just playing rock paper scissors. It's really up to you to find out the sequence to beat it, really. You know what I'm saying? It's not really the game's fault that it requires a little thinking or an extra amount of thinking to beat some of these setups. But yeah, it is what it is. The game is brutal, unfair, and simple. I love it. Nice. They don't know what they want. All the fix suggestions make it more like Guilty Gear Strive, which we do not want. We do not want that. This game is more like 2D Samurai Showdown and Last Blade put together. I don't know what Last Blade is, but yeah, 2D Samurai Showdown sounds about right. Big buttons, big damage, not super hard, yada yada. Objectively, one of the most fun games he's played. That's your opinion. That is subjective. So if I give a game a rating and I lay out some points in an objective manner, how is that subjective? If I am framing it as being objective relative to other talking points. I don't know. I don't know. Objectively, to me, DNF Duel, it's 2022, right? DNF Duel is the most fun fighting game I've played this year. How is that even hard to believe? Nothing else is even released. How is that even hard to believe, bro? But whatevs. Fun fact, most people in general are scrubs. It's not limited to fighting games. True. I played a decade of League of Legends. I understand that most people are mindless drones. I get that. I trust me, I really do. I really get that. But the thing is, in League, at least the mindless drones still play the game. Like, it doesn't matter if League, if people just complain and bitch all the time, at least people will still play the game. That, you get what I'm saying? So that's the distinction there. Somehow there are people saying that this game is dying because it's too easy. Well, we talked about earlier, that's kind of valid, because if a game is too easy and people feel like they're just getting blown up for no reason, it's a good option to select for, like, yeah, I'm losing because they just get a 70% of my health on one easy combo. And I mean, if the move is broken and everyone's getting blown up by that same move, it kind of can be kind of lame. But Funny how this game was fun for literally 3 weeks and then I dropped it because it got stale. I am currently enjoying a game I have played for 24 years. I'm talking about KOF 98. Now that is how you make a fighting game. So my thing is, yeah, the game does get stale if you just play one character. I think what they had in mind is people wouldn't just not play one character. I think they had in mind people would play different characters. But the problem with that is, you know, they didn't understand people are going to get a certain rank and never touch the game again. Like, if you look at some of the achievements for the titles and stuff, they really was expecting you to, at some point, win 500 ranked games with a single character for a title. Or is it 500? Maybe it's more, but like, that's a lot for a single character and a roster with like 10 characters. That's a lot. So let's keep going. We got like a few more minutes and then that should be the video. Hate to say it, but none of this is facts. LOL. One of the most fun games. It's okay. It looks okay. What? This game looks amazing. Name a better game that looks just as good as this. You can't. Nigga, you can't say Street Fighter 6. The game's not out yet. You're not saying Street Fighter 5. You could say Dragon Ball Fighters. Or you could say Strive. That's it. There is no... And yeah, no. And I would say this and Dragon Ball Strive are on relatively the same level. So, right. Main part that's killing this game is balance and lack of characters. Okay. Hell, 3 characters basically the same, like Hitman, Troubleshooter, and Ghostblade. Why do you keep saying that? Hitman and Troubleshooter and Ghostblade are not the same characters. They don't play the same. Ghostblade doesn't even have a DP. Mofos with swords and guns. Ghostblade doesn't have a gun. He has a sword. Okay. Rollback doesn't automatically make the game good. It just makes it run good. DNF needs a burst, maybe a push block or something other than using all mana to counter. Game gets spammy. The game gets spammy? Game gets spammy after a while, especially with characters like Striker. It's not scrub mentality killing it. It's DNF and maybe the fact Multiverses came out. They need to add roster and maybe add more mechanics. My boy. I'ma just keep it a buck with you, my boy. You are a scrub. This is scrub comment. Game gets spammy. Right. And there's nothing wrong with being a scrub, but you need to just know you are a scrub, my boy. Let's keep going. I agree. FGC is scrubs. People don't know what they want. It's facts, man. Hey, that's facts, man. It's facts, babe. I disagree with this video, especially the title. Scrubs didn't kill this game whatsoever. What killed this game is literally zero offline content outside of running arcade mode over and over again. For some reason, the DNF community has adopted this childish and elitist mindset. In Tekken 7, there are scrubs still in green and yellow ranks with thousands of matches, and yet they still play every day and never bother the hardcore experienced players until the game is engaging. Oh, because the game is engaging and has content customization. Blaming scrubs for the game dying is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You have a game that launched with no marketing, glitchy online, that disconnects all the time, terrible matchmaking, terrible story, and zero worthwhile content outside of online, and DNF elitists are blaming the scrubs for this game dying. This is pitiful. Okay, well, again, I haven't played Tekken 7, so I don't even know if this guy is speaking facts right now. But I can say that I didn't say scrubs killed the game. I said scrub mentality killed the game. That's it. That's all I was saying, bro. I didn't say scrubs killed the game. I just said the fact that a lot of people on day 1, 2, and 3 kept making excuses and kept saying stuff like, dang, this game is broken. Dang, this character's broken. Dang, this game is dead. Dang, Swiftmaster makes me not want to play this game anymore. Dang, this and that. Dang, this and that. Dang, this and that. And the fact that there was that one person who made that tournament who banned Swiftmaster just for clout. Bro, come on, bro. How is that literally not scrub mentality? Nigga, you banned a whole character before a patch you had even dropped on your tournament for some clout, bro. Get real. I just don't understand, bro. Y'all see what I'm talking about? That's crazy. Anyways, let's keep going. Interesting comment. Interesting. Never thought about it that when people complain, itch to moan about minuscule things, stealing that. So what I said at this point was people will basically complain because they just want to be heard, which I feel like embodies Twitter. So let's keep going a little bit faster. This game died among casuals because it has some of the most incompetent marketing. Why do people keep saying that? I feel like at least on Twitter and YouTube, and based off what like the interactions these guys were getting on their YouTube and like polls and stuff, people knew about the game. I had like one guy IRL who even he's the definition of a scrub and casual. He was hyped about the game. But okay, yeah. Incompetent marketing I've seen in a while, and it died on the more FG invested people because they didn't even buy it due to how overpriced it is. It's $50. Excuse me. $50 though. Alright, that's cool. I mean, that's fair. 100%. The early awful Steam rating really hurt it on PC, and the PC gamers whining and screams spread to PSN. DNF Duel is so dang fun, and I'm still in silver. So he commented this, or they commented this 2 days ago. The game has been out for a few weeks. This person thinks the game is fun, and he's still in silver. I'm leaving combos for the first time. Thinking of learning. And this is the first time I've ever taken a fighting game seriously. I join Discords and play when I'm off work. Dude, yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. What the fuck? I was told that not whining and accepting that this so-called garbage is what is ruining the FGC. Bad move. Now this has given me purpose to destroy the old guard. Yes, the game has its problems, but making it into a Guilty Gear clone is not going to fix it. Working around imbalances. What is this nigga talking about? This nigga's just typing. I don't think it has much to do with scrubs. More so the game is just so bare bones. There's not a lot of content at all, and the game feels pretty stagnant after the first week or two, meaning the game has been mastered relatively quickly, leaving nothing to be discovered later on. Dude, people are still discovering stuff now. Why do people have this mentality? I don't understand. I see new optimal stuff for Vanguard and Berserker all the time. The update didn't help the game. Yeah. Chris S, I strongly agree. Yeah. This game is kind of like Blaze Blue, and no one likes knockoff games. This guy said oof. Alright, so I got through majority of the comments. I don't know where the other hidden ones are. They're in replies. Okay, so that's it. Overall, some very valid concerns, you know, with people saying marketing, some people saying it's too easy, some people just saying it feels stale. So I think this is a good gauge for what people are experiencing for DNF Duel. Most of these comments you can see people are saying the game is fun. It just feels stale and bare bones, which, okay, that's why I didn't give the game a 10 out of 10. I didn't say the game was perfect. I just said it's fun to play. It is fun to lab. It's fun to play. Very fun to play. Hands on, the game is fun. Like, and rollback. So that alone, it belongs in a 6. Fun to play, rollback, and then music and art, and so on. But that's that. The comments interesting overall. I think, personally, I believe that the game with the right patches and some reasonable DLC will be a staple in what people view and like to watch and see. That's just my opinion. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't personally watch tournaments because I really just be doing other stuff. I never was big on watching tournaments. That's just me though. Like, I like watching Marvel tournaments. Marvel tournaments are my guilty pleasure. But even for like DBFZ or other games, I'm not huge on tournaments. But that's it. That's the video. That's the comments. Interesting overall. Thanks for watching. If you did watch this far, shout outs to you. Shout outs to the gang. I do appreciate you. And tell someone you appreciate them. And tell someone you love them. See y'all in the next video. Take care. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to do like watching commentary next. You'll see. Anyways, peace out.